We're going to get straight to the point. Guys, here's the diet. I'm going to post it up for y'all. Boop, there it is. This is what I'm going to be doing for the next 90 days. Take a screenshot of that if y'all want. I'm going to get into the diet here in just a second. Let me recap real fast what's going on. So I did a 75-day challenge of doing nothing but boiled chicken and brown rice with no seasonings or any type of salt. And I went from 235 down to 206 within 75 days. Now, the first week, I lost 11 pounds worth of water weight. Now, when I went on vacation last week, I was real loose with my diet and I was eating and enjoying myself with my family. So I went from 206 to 220. So I gained 14 pounds over this last week. Now, I might be like, oh my God, that's a lot of weight, but I lost 11 pounds worth of water weight on week 1. So I pretty much just regained all that water weight back and then a little bit extra. I'm not stressed about it. That's still 15 pounds going from 235 down to 220 in 75 days worth of solid weight loss. The only thing that happened was my muscles swelled up, my back swelled up, I got real veiny, everything just filled out, it looked great. Okay, so now we're on to the next 90 days. We're going to be carb cycling. That's what this is, carb cycling. That's why you can see the training, non-training. I'm going to post this back up here. Here we go again. I'm going to go over this with you. Okay, for meal 1, we're going to be doing a cup and a half of egg whites, 2 slices of bread. When I say bread, it's going to be whole wheat grain bread with the highest protein, which is like 5 grams of protein per slice. It's like 23 carbohydrates. We're going to be doing 3 packs of grits. I'm doing the cheddar flavor because I like that. And then 4 ounces of orange juice, 4 ounces of cranberry juice. This is meal 1 of training days. We're going to be training 3 days a week, by the way. We're going to be working out 3 days a week, no longer 6 days a week. The next meal is 8 ounces of chicken breast. I know I said I'm not going to be doing chicken breast ever again. I hate chicken breast. It's dry. It's gross. I can't stop. I'm done with it. But I looked at how much it was going to cost me to do red meat. And red meat was going to be almost $120 a week just for the amount of red meat I needed. And chicken cost me about $30 a week, $30 to $40 a week. So for my family, I'm going to go ahead and do the dad thing and save that money where I can spend it in better places for my family and take the hit and eat the chicken. Okay, and then we're going to be doing 10 ounces of white rice or jasmine rice. I do jasmine rice. I just put down white rice. It's just simpler. 1 can of green beans, 4 ounces of chicken broth. Now, let me say this. The rice. I measure out 10 ounces of rice raw, and then I put 3 cups of water, and then I cook that. That will swell up to right at 9 to 10 ounces for 3 meals. So when I say 10 ounces of rice, I mean 10 ounces total for the day measured raw, but it still swells up to right at 10 ounces for 3 meals if you divvy it out for 3 meals. If you put 3 cups of water and cook it how I cook it. Okay. And then the next meal is the same, but we're doing a can of carrots. The next meal is the same, but we're doing a can of spinach. Now, the difference between this training program or diet and last diet is my vegetables are going to be canned with the salt. I'm going to get the sodium ones so I can get some salt in my diet. And I'm also doing chicken broth, which has sodium. I am still not going to be salting my food. I'm not going to be adding salt or seasonings to any of my food. The only salt I'm getting is indirect salt through the food that already has in it, like those, for instance. Okay, now my post-workout meal is going to be 100 grams of whey protein and 100 grams of dextrose, which is just a simple carbohydrate. And then my last meal is going to be 8 ounces of lean beef, 1 red bell pepper, 5 ounces of sweet potato. This is on training days. This is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Non-training days, we're going to be doing pretty much the same breakfast, but we're only going to do the bread, and then we're going to do 2 ounces of cheddar cheese. The next meal is the same, but instead of white rice, we're doing brown rice. It's not the same. I'm lying. Let's go over this. We're going to do 8 ounces of chicken breast, 4 ounces of brown rice. Now, guys, the brown rice is the same thing. Measured raw, put into my cooker, add the water, and then what I'm going to do differently with this one is I'm taking 1 ounce of olive oil. I'm putting the 1 ounce of olive oil into the brown rice. I mix it up. I add my water, and then I cook it. And then when it's done cooking, I divide that between 3 meals, which comes out to roughly 3 to 4 ounces per meal. So when I say 4 ounces, I mean 4 ounces total for the day. Low carbs on the days I'm not training. Okay, so 4 ounces of brown rice, can of green beans, olive oil. And then the next meal is going to be carrots and then spinach. Now, since I'm not working out, I'm going to be doing 100 grams of whey protein with 10 almonds. And then the last meal is 10 ounces of lean beef, 1 red bell pepper with 1 ounce of olive oil. I'm going to cook the steak, and I'm going to just kind of pretty much lather it up with some olive oil and then eat it for my fats. Now, the reason why I'm doing it like this, I said I was going to do the vertical diet, but I cannot do the red meat. I can, guys. I don't want to spend that much money on that much red meat. So I'm going to try it with chicken instead and just do red meat once a day. And I'm not getting all the nutrients every single day. And I'm not doing it exactly how the vertical diet is written out. Because you're supposed to be getting cranberry juice and orange juice throughout the day. I'm just going to do it once on my high carb days. And then as far as it goes for like the almonds and the cheddar and that type of stuff, I'm going to do those on non-workout days. So on the days I work out, my carbs are going to be high, my fats are going to be extremely low. The days I don't work out, it's going to be the opposite. And that's where, like I said, the olive oil, the cheese, the almonds, all that stuff comes in. So for the most part, I'm getting everything on each day, except for some items that have higher fats will be moved around on days. So also, he doesn't really recommend brown rice, but I'm doing brown rice because the concept behind this is the days I work out, I'm doing white rice or jasmine rice. I'm doing grits. I'm doing all this other stuff because I want very fast absorbing carbohydrates. I want the stuff to get into my muscles. I want it to be there and ready for me when I need it, and the glucose to be stored up, ready to go. And then the days I don't work out, I'm going to be doing brown rice, slow digesting, lots of fiber, takes forever to absorb into you. It doesn't spike your insulin. It doesn't have a hard impact on like your pancreas releasing your blood sugar levels, everything else like that. Also, the reason why I'm not adding salt, I don't know if I mentioned this just a second ago, but the reason why I'm not doing the salt or seasoning is I want to keep my blood pressure low because my blood pressure is really, really, really great right now. It's perfect. And I don't want to add any salts or seasonings to the extreme where my blood pressure goes back up. I want to keep it down. I also don't want to have constant insulin release and spikes and then always be like releasing insulin from eating so much kinds of carbohydrates. So that's what I'm doing with the brown rice. And then, like I said, I'm going to be carb cycling. Now, with the carb cycling thing, it's like I'm not going to say that I'm trying to lose weight, gain weight, or maintain. What I will say is I'm constantly trying to put on more muscle mass and lose more body fat. So take that for what it's worth. Am I bulking? Am I cutting? I don't know. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get bigger. I'm trying to get leaner. I'm trying to get harder. And I'm doing that with every single thing that I'm doing. It's not about let me bulk and put on a bunch of fat and then let me cut and lose a bunch of muscle mass. I did a hard cut for 75 days, lost a lot of both fat and muscle. But now we're at a point that I can start focusing on losing body fat while trying to put on muscle mass. And I'm going to be doing this pretty much for the rest of the year. Not this exact thing for the rest of the year, but something along the lines of this progress for the rest of the year because I have a lot of work and I got a lot of ground to cover for where I need to be able to compete in bodybuilding. I have a lot of weak areas. I have a lot of stuff I need to work on. So this is loosely based off of the vertical diet. If y'all don't know what the vertical diet is, it's made by Stan Efferding. I highly recommend go checking it out. He has a lot of seminars and a lot of videos out talking about it, and you can even just buy it. It's $100. It's very affordable, and it's just packed full of good information. So this is loosely based off of that. And like I said, carb cycling to control calories on the days I'm not working out and keep my carbohydrates and insulin levels low, right? And then get my insulin up and then get a lot of calories and carbohydrates for my workouts. Because the most important thing for me is having fun in the gym and enjoying what I'm doing. And if I'm tired and worn out and lethargic, I'm not going to have a great time working out and I'm not going to want to work out. So that's why I'm going to carb cycle. Plus, I've never legitimately carb cycled before, ever. This would be, I've tried it for about 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, but I've never given it a full go. So now we're going to be working out 3 days a week to give my body a rest. Every other day I'm going to get, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to have a break from working out. And then give our body a break from the high carbohydrates. And see how it goes for 90 days. Now, also, I will say this. I'm going to be having cheat meals this time around. I'm not going to be so hardcore, zoned in, strict, where I'm not allowed cheat meals. If my wife wants to go on a date Saturday night, now I'm going to be dieting Monday through Sunday. But if my wife wants to go out on a date Saturday night, I am going to take my wife out on a date Saturday. If my wife doesn't want to go out Saturday night, then I will take her to lunch on Sunday. If we do something Saturday, I'm not going to do something Sunday. If we do something Sunday, I'm not going to do something Saturday. So I will have a cheat meal. Now, if a special event comes up, like someone's birthday or celebration of something, then I might have 2 that day, that week. I might have a little something there to celebrate Saturday or whatever, and then still take my wife out on Sunday to have something for me and her on a date. I think it's very important to be able to have that time with my wife, because the last 75 days I did not. I told her no, we didn't go out to eat anywhere, we didn't do nothing. So my wife was having to put up with not getting to go out and do anything she wanted to do either for 75 days. My wife was pretty much having to deal with my life choices on her end because of what I decided to do. So I'm not going to be so strict on it this time, because I mean, I still gotta live my life with my family. Okay. Now, as far as it goes for training, the training is going to be different too, guys. We're going to be working out half the body on Monday, the other half on Wednesday. And then what we do on Monday, we're going to do on Friday. The same muscle groups. So if we train out our arms and legs on Monday, we're training them on Friday. And then next week, we take Monday, Friday's muscle groups, we put it on Wednesday. What was trained on Wednesday now gets moved to Monday, Friday. So we're going to train half the body twice, and then once, and then twice, and then once, and then twice, and then once. And instead of doing a whole bunch of variety and a whole bunch of like over analyzing what kind of sets, what kind of reps, how many sets, how many this, what kind of muscles, angles, grip, stretch, blah, blah, blah. Nope, I'm going primitive on this. I'm going to pick one movement per body part per workout. So if I'm training my biceps on Monday, Friday, Monday, Friday, I'm going to do barbell curls on Monday, and then I'm going to do, let's say, dumbbell curls on Friday. And then on Wednesday, when I train them again the following week, I might just do I'll do like hammer curls or something. May not be those exact movements, but that's what I'm going to do. And then this workout, this training program, I'm going to be writing everything down. In my workout video, when I post that, I'm going to go over what I'm doing, because that's what the workout video is. So I'm not going to get into super hard depth on that. I'm just letting you guys know that it's not going to be 6 days a week no more. And it allows me to carb cycle. Now, I know you can still carb cycle working out 6 days a week. And then typically how a lot of people do it is they'll carb cycle, like they'll get a whole lot of carbs on their leg night or on their back night or both. And that's how a lot of people carb cycle. Me, I'm going to just get high carbs every day I work out, which is only 3 days. And then low carbs Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. And I am curious to see where I end up on this training block, because starting off now at 220, 15 pounds lighter, I'm excited, because this is going to put me a lot closer in this next 90 days to where I want to be versus where I am right now. And I have a much better starting point than what it was last time. And this isn't going to be as crazy intense as my last training diet, because I will be getting salt with broth and the vegetables, and I have a much bigger variety of food, which is going to be awesome. So, okay, so that's going to be it for the diet, guys, for what we're doing. And then we're going to get up a video on the training 3 days a week. I'm going to post 3 days a week on the training videos, but this is going to be 7 days a week. It's just, we'll see how much content I post. I think I might just do 3 days a week. I think that's what I'm going to post. Okay, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, before I lose my train of thought, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, guys. Thanks for watching. And for those of you who want to follow along, let's do this together and get our results.